this morning. Join me in a prayer as I begin this morning's Upadesh message for you. But before I do so, I want to give a special prayer. It's a prayer which you all know as a Gayatri mantra. But let us chant it one time, and that is, let us dedicate this mantra to chant it to someone who's missing from here today. The reason why I was here performing the yajna was because Acharya Ji is not here. Those of you who know or do not know, he has just lost his mom. And so he's out of the country. He went back to India to take care of his final respects and final rites. And so we all surely miss him. Let us send our thoughts or vibrations to him and his family. May that his mom, departed mom, souls, rest in peace, wherever that may be. And also Acharya Ji, may he come back very safely and quickly to us. All of us together joining in the Gayatri mantra. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodaya. Om Swasti, Om Swasti, Om Swasti. Dhanyavad. I will begin my message today with a prayer. Om Stuta Maya Varida Vedamata Prachodayantam Pavamani Dvijana Ayu Pranam Prajam Pashum Kirtin Dravinam Brahma Varchasam Mahyam Dattva Prajata Brahmalokam. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yat Bhadram Tana Asuva. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Those of you who attended the Mahayajna just about, well, close to about a month ago now, I think, a few weekends ago. Our theme for this year 2012 Mahayajna was peace and harmony. And so, when myself and Vishwat, we talked about today's message, he asked me, Panditji, what would you like to talk about? And I thought of it, and there are many things I can talk about. There are many topics and subjects within the Ved, within the Satya Prakash, within the Bhagavad Gita that we can talk about. But then I thought that maybe it was so close to that message, let me continue along that theme. And so today, my message to you is the prescription to live in peace and harmony. The topic then was just peace and harmony. Today, I would like to share with you the prescription to live in peace and harmony. And when things are not going well, what do? If our health is ailing, the first thing we do is we try to find a doctor. Or we try to find somewhere someone can give us some help medication-wise. What medication can I take to be healthy again? And many times in life, when things are not going well, whether we want to believe it or not, that I'm not feeling well, where the word disease. Disease is what causes not feeling well. Disease is basically all about peace. Just take away, if you spell the word disease, D-I-S-E-A-S-E, take away the ease. When you're not at ease, E-A-S-E, that's when you're distant. You're in some other world. That's what disease is. Disease is when you are not at ease. When you are not at peace with yourself, when you are not understanding what's going on, when you are not, why me? And all the complaining. And so, today I would like to share with you, I would like to use the Bhagavad Gita, which we're all very familiar with, and especially for Acharya Ji. He has been going down the path of Bhagavad Gita for months now, and those of you who've been coming to the temple, you know that every Sunday morning, he will very diligently, very beautifully, and very eloquently explain to us, shloka after shloka, from the Bhagavad Gita. What was Sri Krishna saying to Arjuna? I would like to share one of those shlokas to you today. It's from chapter 2, shlok 63. And then I would also like to go a little bit beyond that and share with you what the great Maharishi, Swami Dayananda, has also said in a similar manner in the Satya Prakash, which just now, a very wonderful, or Virangana, not Supriya, what's your sister name? I'm sorry. Sumita. Beautifully helped us to explain and to bring forth the qualities and the nature of what rulers should exhibit. And then lastly, I'd like to wrap it up, hopefully with a beautiful bhajan that ties it all together. So let me begin with this beautiful bhajan that reminds us that life is such that you cannot take it for granted. जन्म तेरो बातों में बीत गयो, my friends. तूने कबहू ना भजन कियो. Your life, our life, जन्म तेरो बातों में बीत गयो, has passed by only in events and occurrences. Only when something is important, then we remember God, or then we think about God, but then, and we have seen it over and over, many times. And the poet is reminding us that Tuni Kavahu Bhajana Kiyo. Because you do not set aside enough time to sing the praises of God. And then he went on, the poet went on to say, let me explain to you why I'm telling you this. He says that Das Barsho Tak Bachpan Bita Bis Javan Bhayo, your childhood, all these wonderful childhood days. And I was very fortunate, I had my wonderful niece visited me from Orlando yesterday, and had two beautiful children, 7 and 3. And you imagine 3 and 7, it's just a handful in a sense. You have Dobete, and those of you have children you know what I'm talking about. Wonderful children, and innocent, everything they do is innocent. Whether it's right or wrong. Isn't it? Everything is innocent. But guess what? Once they hit 10, the innocence is gone. Come 11. The poet says that by 20, you become rude. Between that age of innocence, something happened. And now you begin to have a personality on your own. And you are no longer that wonderful innocent child. and my friends in this audience, and I wish we had more, besides Supriya, Sumita, and the wonderful son, brother, and this wonderful young man, I wish we had more youths. Because those of you who know me, I talk about, it's my focus and my message all our youths, that they are our future. But that age, between 10 and 20, is the most important age. I will tell you this, I have a son who's 27 years of age. And that 10 to 20 that's the age when if you do not have a handle, if you do not groom the tree properly, guess what? It will get to a point where it grows and grows and grows, and the moment you try to bring it back, it's too late, it will break. And when it breaks, that's chaos, that's problems. But between 10 and 20 is when you, who are the parent, you are the sunshine of that child. And you need, if you study biology, you know that the plant looks for where the light is. And you bend or straight, whatever it has to do to find that sunshine. And what is that sunshine? It's the chorus, it's the tune, it's the love of that mom, that dad, that parent. 10 to 20 is when it happens. Once it passes that, it's a problem. And he says that, Tis paras maya ke padere, days of the days in bayo. He says that by 30, by then you already get married. Right? By the day now, by America. You get married, and now you have commitment. Now you have whole start all over again. And then now, days by days, you start to travel just to make income. Just to make enough salary or money so I can take care of my family. But the poet went on to remind us that it does not end there. He says that Charles Barasli Barakabila Mohu Mamta Bariyo, that by age 40, your family got much bigger, and your cares and concerns commensurately has grown. Yeah, bigger and bigger now. Just when you think that when I get this, I will do that, it continued to grow. And that night and day, Sutadara or the Dhanakekara, Nishidin, day and night. Nishidin, day and night you keep thinking about generating, what can I do to make my family better? What can I do to make the environment that I'm living in a better one? And he says that as you keep thinking, you try to generate wealth to take care of the expanding needs of your Sutara, Dhan, Patni, Pati, family. But this is when reality hits. It says that Paras Pachas Sat ke bhitar Kafir Soch bhaye. Now you pass 40 and then the hair now suddenly started to turn grey. He started to turn grey between the age of somewhere between 40. Mine started at 30, so I don't know what that means. But let me just know what the poet is saying. He says that between the ages of 50 and 60 start to get grey. What pit or kafni kera naina na neera bhayo. That the body now lost the balance. That agility that you used to have. Yesterday, I spent 5 hours yesterday, Saturday morning. I rented a U-Haul truck. And I said, I will take care of your moving. I rented a U-Haul truck, and I tell you, I was agile just for 2 hours. After the 3rd hour, I was gone. I was looking for, by Vedat's son Arun and other younger ones. How can you help me? But I will tell you, 10, 15 years ago, I can move a whole building in 4 hours. Right, Scott? You know what I'm talking about. We all been there, done that. But what is reminding us, as you get older now, you start to think, now, all of a sudden, and guess what? You went to sleep last night, which I did, and I got up this morning like, wow, man, where does pain come from? But it's a reality of life. But the most important thing is this, is that he says that, na Prabhu Bhakti, na Guru Seva, na Shubha Karma. From age 0 to 60, something was happening in between here. You have all this energy, you do this, you do that, but the poet is reminding us that as time went by, you enter, as we start, hit the final years more or less, he says that you never set aside time. Na Prabhu Bhakti. Na meaning not, Prabhu meaning God, Bhakti meaning devotion. You didn't find time for it. Na Prabhu Bhakti, na Guru Seva, na Shubha Karma. When you enter your family, he says that you didn't set aside time to worship God, or serve scholars, or even perform works of charity. But, he says eventually, and the poet who wrote this, his name is Kabir. Kahate Kabir, Suno Vaisada. He always quotes that way. Listen, my friends, been there, done that. My name is Kabir. Kahate Kabir, Suno Vaisada. What he said? He says that Chola Chore. Chola Chore. None of us want to hear this. But that's the reality of life. Why did I begin the message with that kind of message today? Because guess what? The prescription to peace, the prescription to harmony, the prescription to happiness is when each and every one of us is sitting here today. And you have to go within and find that. And I purposefully pull that because you know what? The last time I sung that bhajan, I sung it at the funeral when we were about to go perform Chola Chola. Send away the body so we can say, wonderful service on earth. Now, let me hit it to you. The superb text called the Bhagavad Gita. And I know we don't have it out here today. And why we don't have it out today is because of what? Why we do not have the Bhagavad Gita today? Thank you. That's the reason why. Thank you for interest. If Acharya everywhere is slower, just like you see the Satya Prakash, you will see the Bhagavad Gita. And it's a support text. Powerful. 700 verses, 700 slokas of powerful message. Begins with Mama, begins with the word, it ends with Mama, mine, and it begins with Dharam. Dharam Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsava, Mama Ka Pandavaschaiva, Kimakurvat Sanjaya. Kimakurvat. The first word, Dharma, begins in the Bhagavad Gita. The last word, verse number 1 begins with Dharma. The last word in verse number 700 ends with Mama. Between these two, my Dharma. Mama means mine, Dharma means your duty. And within those 700 shlokas is this prescription, this powerful elixir, this powerful medication that will take you to happiness, to peace, to harmony. And so, this support text called the Bhagavad Gita, it is an amazing guide. In my view, this is, I'm just speaking for me. It's an ultimate, in my opinion, a user's manual. You know when you buy a new car, or you buy something new, it comes with something called a manual. And if you do not follow the manual properly, guess what happens? You cannot get your warranty claim. Because you have to follow the manual carefully, use the equipment accordingly, and guess what? You will get the results. The Bhagavad Gita, in my opinion, is a user's manual for life. And if you use it properly, from beginning to end, you will have had a life that is full of peace, full of harmony, full of not disease, none ease. You have all ease without a dis. That's what we're striving for. And this ancient, and it's very ancient, isn't it? It's not something that just happened yesterday. It's very ancient. It's very Puran. It is very Sanatan. It is very old in nature, isn't it? Vedic, Satya, Sanatan, Dharma. That's why we call it. It begins with the Vedic. Everything begins with the Vedic. Satya. Everything resides, the truth, if you want it, back to the Vedic. Vedic, Satya, Sanatan. Sanatan is very ancient, very old. Been there. Dharma That's your duty. And this is why, at the end of all yajna, we say, Vedic Satya Sanatana Dharma, and we all shout, make it live on. Because that's what we're all about. And so, Krishna, Sri Krishna, and Arjuna, they represent two things. What are they? Krishna represents the God within us. And Arjuna are we, all of us, walking around. And Krishna is dying to talk to you. He's dying to tell you this message. All you have to do is listen. Do we find time for that? No. And I can tell you, Pitaji, Mataji, I can tell you, I'm sure they find time for it. I'm sure all our Matajis in here can find that for it. I'm sure many younger level can find it. When you go younger, when you go lower down, below 20, in my opinion. Because let me tell you why I say it. As yesterday I was doing the moving in a truck with me, I had a young woman with me, 13-year-old, the grandson of the person moving. And when I returned the truck, gave me a receipt, now I'm going back home. The grandfather came to pick me up and take me back home. And the grandchild was there with me. And guess what? As soon as I jumped into the car, beautiful bhajan was playing. I think it was Prakash Gosai bhajan. Nice bhajan about Saraswati. As soon as the grandchild jumped into the car back seat, I'm in front of him. He pushed some button, suddenly that stopped, and other music came on. The grandfather said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, well, I don't want to hear that." I said, "Well, heavy metal." The grandfather asked, "So why are you listening to it? What are they talking about?" "I don't know, but it's good." This is my point, my friends. Sri Krishna is within us. We're ready. He's dying. He wants to talk to us. You have to listen. Today, our generation, the mind, and every advertisement they have on TV and car radio, whatever they have it on, what do they work on? What do they push it to? It's to the mind. The mind is what it works. The mind is what makes it happen. Chanchal mananita omkar japa, omkar japa, om om om. Chanchal manan. The mind is chanchal, always jumping here, there, and all over the place. Nam sarasa rasa rosa pieja. Think of His name. If you do that day in, day out, you will not find time to push the button and say, "I want to hear something different," but His name. Parents, it is so important. I'm telling you, I am worrying for the next 10 years from now. When we look at children, what is going to happen? If parents today do not get a handle of what is happening. Because if you cannot control, not that you have to control, by the way, I'm not saying that you have to control. Children, it is so simple. Children look at what parents do. If you are doing the right thing, if you're listening to the right thing, you're drinking the right thing, you're eating the right thing, you're doing the right thing, children will do that. Period. It's as simple as that. And I do not want to labor the point about yesterday, because I can be honest with you, I did investigate it some more, and I have more thing that what I just said there validates my point. But I can tell you in a nutshell, if you want somebody to do something, then you better be doing it. Don't do something and expect someone to do something different. And it's as simple as that with parents and children. And the great Maharishi Swaminarayan was perfect about it. In his case, it was a complete opposite. Where parents did not, he had to educate his parents. He tried to. But when it did not work, he said, "You know what? Enough is enough." And he went into his own to find Antaryami within, find that sense of gratification, find a sense of realization. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it says that the word Shanti, we all know what the word Shanti means. What does it mean? Shanti means, and it comes from a Sanskrit root called Sham. And when we chant in our Hang mantra, we do not do it because of time. This is why we do not chant the peace chant, which is called the Swasti Vajanam. Om Shanto Devi, and as a matter of fact, our Sandhya, Pitaji or Sandhya, begins with Om Shanyo Devi Rabhishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitaye Shanyo Rabi Shravantu. Am I right? That's what the Sandhya. As soon as you get up, it begins with Sham. Om Shanyo Devi Rabhishtaya Apo Bhavantu Pitaye. You are a master. Give me the water today. Bless me with that divine water, that divine bliss, so that I can have Sham. Sham is the root in Sanskrit for Shanti. The entire dialogue of this entire Bhagavad Gita is placed, as we all know, in the battlefield. What battlefield is it, my friend? This is what we call it? Kurukshetra. Correct? In Bharat. In India. But Kurukshetra, Kuru means action. Kshetra means field. Field of action. And where is that field of action, my friends? It's in here. Every single day you get up, you have a battle ahead of you. Every single day you get up, it's a war. Just even get up, it's a war. It's a fight today to wake up a child from the bed. It's time to go. It's time to get up and have breakfast. Time to move on. The bus will be here, the school bus will be here. We have to go, I have to get to work. Isn't it a battle? Yes, it is. Every parent can tell you that. Been there, done that. That's the battle, my friends. Every single day. And so, just in the interest of time, we jump quickly to this stroke 23, verse 63. It says that Krodha bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibraha. Krodha bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibramahan. Smriti bhakshat buddhi nasho, buddhi nashat pranashyati. Buddhi nashat pranashyati. This one mantra, this is a prescription to this. It's a root. Chapter 2, Shlok 63. All of you have a Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure. And if you do not, talk to anyone who's funded, will get you one. And study it. It says that Krodhat, which is Krodh, from anger, Bhavati, takes place. Krodhat Bhavati, Sammoha, perfect illusion, perfect sense of confusion. Anger is what confuses everything. The moment you get angry, anger comes into you. The moment you get angry, everything else falls apart. I don't know about you, but been there, done that too. Okay? And I agree. Whether you want to accept or not, it's your choice. But trust me, the next time you get angry, think about this. Everything else loses bearings. Nothing else makes sense. It's just for you. Then, Sammoha, from this illusion, this confusion, Smriti. Smriti meaning memory, the thing, the remembrance. Smriti, Vibrama, the bewilderment. It becomes all confused. All of a sudden, the memory doesn't function the way it was meant to be. No longer do you think the way you should. The computer today, every one of us, many of us, you know what a computer is? You use a computer, there's a memory chip in there. If that chip gets confused, if a virus hits it, it's not good, guess what? You cannot get your program, you cannot do what you want to do. Same thing. When this goes, when thinking goes, when smriti, vibraha becomes confused, everything else goes. Then you do the thing you shouldn't do, or you do not know, should I do this, should I do that? Confused. Then, the worst thing ever happens, you do the things that you should. And then, too late. So, Vibrama, Smriti Brahmshat, after this bewilderment, all this confusion of the memory, Buddhi Nasha, now comes the loss of intelligence. The last choice, the last piece of help that we have within the system is finally now Nasha. Nash means destruction, destroy. Now, I remember a movie, I saw a beautiful movie by the way, I've seen it 6 times, Swadish. My most favorite movie is Swadish. And I remember when Shah Rukh Khan, in his scenery, he came and he was supposed to be working in NASA. NASA is the space center. And when he went back to visit his grandma, went to visit in India, he went there and was asking, so how are you doing, Beta? How was your thing? And what do you do? Where do you do? I work. What do you work? Where do you work? He said, NASA. NASA. But it's interesting though. It's very interesting. When you put these, let me tell you something. Our culture is so deep and it's so, I don't know how to put this sometimes. When I think of it, my hair stands on end to explain every single word within our philosophy. Makes so much sense. Nasha, Nash, destroy. That's why avoid drugs. Children, I wish I had more here to talk to them. Avoid it. Avoid those things that intoxicate you, that messes up the memory, that confuses the thinking faculty. He says that Buddhi Nasha, when that is lost, then get what? Buddhi Nasha, from this loss of intelligence, guess what happens? Pranashati. Pranashati and reform. Everything is. And so, if you can take that one verse, that one shloka for the happening, and think what Sri Krishna was saying to Arjuna. You are Arjuna. I am. You are. We all are Arjunas. Arjuna means someone who's hesitant, someone who's not sure. Isn't that what his problem was? He was not sure. He was the most powerful warrior. He could do what he wanted. He could win battle easily, but he was hesitant. He was despondent. He was full of grief. He did not know what to do. He needed help. And Sri Krishna was right here. Tell him, get off your knees, wake up, oh Kshatriya. You were born with all this strength. You have been given all this power. Why are you so despondent? All of us, my friends, every single day, we are faced with it. We are despondent. We're full of grief. We don't believe it or not. But when you go there with the traffic, when you go there deal with children, when you go there deal with this one, deal with that one, that's the battle we're talking about. Get up off your feet and let God come within you. Now let me take you one step further, and that's now the great Maharishi Swaminarayan. What he said. So remember one thing so far. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Shlok 63, talks about the destruction of the thinking faculty, which begins with cruelty, anger, and takes you through the process. First takeaway point today is, anytime you feel you're going to get angry, this is why I remind you, take a break, walk away. Walk away from the situation. Take a breather. Think again, then go. Because guess what? You may probably have done something that you wish you hadn't. And yet the death is too late. You cannot recall it. Because families have been broken apart simply because of things they have said. Not weapons, not gun, not sword, but just the things they have said. And then when they reflect, they wish they had not said that. This is how powerful it is. This is how powerful it is. Just take the moment to pull back, and it will take you. The great Maharishi Dayananda says, along the same line, how can you live a life of peace and harmony? जाते हुए जन के नैना। त्याग सत सत को स्वीकारे, त्याग सत सत को स्वीकारे, अपना मानस जन्म सुधारे, भक्त मत सुधरे अघना, जाते हुए जय जय स्वामी जय जय स्वामी, स्वामी Along the same line, the great Maharishi Dan says that Pakshapad Taji. It's in the very book, all of us would have read the whole book, Satyat Prakash. This is exactly where I got this from. It's not my words, Swami Dayan's word. Pakshapad Taji Kade Dhaina, Jate Kule Jan Ke Naina. He says that let us all give up our narrow views, my friends, and start Jate Kule Gyan Ke Naina. Let open your eyes. Start deep. Not just above here, but deep thinking. Deep study and research on our beliefs and practices, so that our eyes can open, Kule Gyan Ke Naina, so our eyes can open to the truth. Let us accept what is valid. This is most important. Tyag asat. Asat, sat. Two things. Tyag, tyag to get rid of. Tyag asat asat ko swikare. Swikare to accept. Apana manusha janama sudhari. Let us accept what is valid in this heart. That which does not stand the test of satya, the test of truth. And look, all of us, this is all mostly adults here. You know the right things. You know what is right, you know what is not right. Go for it. Do not let people tell you otherwise. You will find people come at your door sometimes and knock on your door and says, arise, awake, watchtower, etc. Where were you? If you were not sleeping, you could tell them instead, you know what, been there, done that. Let me tell you something. But if you haven't done it, what can you tell them? You look silly, you probably close the door and say, well, I need to go back to sleep. And I think that's the problem. That is the problem in our society. Too many of us, in our Hindu diaspora, in our Hindu tradition, throughout the world, and I'm telling you, I've been in many places, and I am from Guyana, I've been to Trinidad, within this country here also, I've been to other places, Thailand, Fiji, I've seen. Our problem is, we have this powerful gem called the Vedic. Powerful gem. And from the Vedic comes everything else. But we have not taken the time to study. And this is why the poet reminds us, Ut Jaan Musafir Bhole Bhai Abre Ne Kaha Jo Sote. But he went on to say that जो कल करना है आज कर ले, जो आज करना है अब कर. I'll be now today, my friends. Do not wait for tomorrow. It will be too late. जो कल करना है आज कर ले, जो आज करना है अब कर ले. जब चिड़ियों ने चुग के लिया फिर पछताई क्या होवत है. Because early bird, like it says, will take the seed and run away. Then it will be too late. Swami Dayananda is saying that, be careful, think. The key word in this entire message is, you must think. And if it does not pass the test of truth, niyam, chaturta, niyam, the fourth principle of Vairasamaja, if it's not true, reject it. And you must be bold enough to do that. But if you're not knowledgeable enough, jnana ki kule, if you're not smart enough, how can you reject it? Because you haven't been there. It all ties together, my friends. Let me share as I wrap it up today for you. There's a great professor. His name was Bhaskaranan. Anyone in here have heard that name? Professor Bhaskaranan? He was from Delhi. He was a Vedic missionary in the 30s and the 40s, 1930s, 1940s, and the 50s. He went to the Caribbean. And he created in the Caribbean, Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname, those places, higher Samaj groups, Vedas, etc. This is his thought. I will share with you. Just 2 verses and then I will wrap it up.
बढ़ाई चलो जी धर्म को निभाए धर्म को सुधारे सदाई धर्म बढ़ाई चलो जी अगो को विसारे कला को विसारे करत प्रेम सद उठाए चलो जी सबका सहारा वही सहारा उसके नियम से चला काज सारा सबका सहारा वही सहारा उसके नियम से चले काज सारा जन्म है इसी से कोई पाता है उसी से सहारा उसी को बचो धर्म को बिचारे धर्म को सुधारे सदाई धर्म को बढ़ाए चलो।
The great Professor Bhaskaranan, he died at the age of 90, I think it was 95 or 96, just a few years ago, in Delhi. He says that, think my friend, dharam ko sudhare, karam ko sudhare, dharam ko vichare, karam ko sudhare, sadai kadam ko badhao chalo ji. Think of your duty. Do you know what a duty? Does anyone know what a duty are? Let me tell you, it's grounded in something called yajna. Thank you. So wonderful. Thank you. Excellent. Dhanyavad. That's beautiful. Please. That's where it's grounded in. And part of that is threefold, my friends. Think of God. Think of you. And there's one more thing that is think of society. That's what gets you. It's when you can sacrifice yourself, take the time. Mauna ahuti. Take time out of your busy schedule, silently. Then when you figure it out, you figure who you are, then you can help someone. Unless you can figure it out, you're only wasting your time. You think you help someone. But if you don't know who you are, you can't help anybody. You need to know who you are. Then go to the next thing. Then after that comes society. And so he says that relinquish those things, my friends. Ago ko visare kalaha ko mitai karata prema sabko uthai chaloji. Relinquish those things that keep you back. Those things that make you end up in angry situation. Those things that makes you, what, I don't know your word, but I'll use it anyway, quarrel. You don't want to be there. That's not what we're about. Because if there's no quarrel in this world, guess what? There will be no war. There will be no fighting. We will be spending money over all kinds of wars. Because there are no quarreling. There's no things about mithai, there's no enmity, in a sense. Uthai chaloji, and loving all men. Sabhi ko sahare wahi ish pyara. That loving God. Ish pyara. That loving God. Helps who? Not just me, not just you, but sabhi ka sahara. Everybody. Sab. Everybody, the entire. Because everyone is his child. Everyone is his child. Usi ke niyam se chalo saj sara. Because we are all born and have our sustenance through who? Through Him. My friends. He is our helper. Janam He is wahi palata hai. Usi se sahara. Usi ke bajuji. He is our helper. So do what? Worship. Think of me. Take time on to use the schedule. I will wrap it up, and I do hope that if I want you to remember two things today from today's message. The topic is the prescription to living in peace and harmony. Two things. One is, first, when you go home, not today, I hope you can do it today, it'll be great. Because I know as a student, and I am a teacher also, it is best when you go home to do it, rather than wait till some other time. It will never happen. If you do it, get your Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Slok 63, study it. Krodhat to Pranashati. Beginning word is Krodhat, last word is Pranashati. Crush, crow. If you crush crow, everything else will be good. You don't have to worry about everything else in between. But study, very important. And let me tell you, children, go on, Google it. Go on the internet, Google Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Slok 63. It will come up, it's all there for you. Study it. And not only that, you can teach your parents. You will, guess what? You may probably get an extra bonus or whatever they give you. It'll be well worth it. Trust me. They will be so happy. That's one. The second thing is, what Swami Daniel says, is that stop, think carefully. Give up any narrow views you may have, any type of thinking I am right. Give it up. Do a deep study. Open that eye of deep study. Contemplate, think who I am, why am I here, where am I going, what is next. And none of us know those questions. But you can do it if you stop. And so I will leave you with this wonderful bhajan call. It says that, oh God, do not leave me in the lurch. You're very fortunate, by Enrica, by Jitin. We have our family members with us today, our elders. It's a very great thing. Those of us in our audience who have parents, I'm sure you'll feel the same way. Those of us lost our parents, and I did. I lost both parents many years ago. I wish they were still here. But my message to the children today, and to all those who have the parents, do not take it for granted. They called something last month, well, 2 weeks ago we celebrated called Mother's Day. Next 2 weeks or 3 weeks we celebrate called Father's Day. Not in India. It is every day. It's not one time a year. It's not a certain special day. It's not a certain time when you go, the roses all over the place. There should be roses every single day. Praying, kapul, every single day. Rose or rose. By the way, Veda, the word rose in English is rose, a beautiful thing. Rose in Hindi, every day. Did you know that? Rose meaning in English. In Hindi, R-O-Z. Rose, every day. It's interesting. That's what I'm saying. Our philosophy is so deep, and so tied in, so powerful. Every day, we give. How do you do it? Children, remember your parents. But